We have come here today for what is called the retreat feedback session. This session today is a little different. As you know, everyone was given shlokas. Everyone was made into 6 groups and they were given shlokas. And Sneha is going to share with us a little bit about what they were supposed to do with the shlokas. And after that, they had to video record their shlokas, and each group's presentation would be played now for Swami G, Nutan Swami Ji and Ma. And after that, we are going to have a feedback session. And because there's only limited time, and we also want to see the shloka presentation, the Nutan Swami Ji and Ma have suggested the names of 3 or 4 of you who can come up. We'll call them out and you can come up and share. As you know, there's a session, Puja Swamiji's concluding session is at 8 o'clock tonight. So we would like to conclude this one in time, but we would be also giving you feedback sheets, and any of your feedback is always welcome. If you don't have time to fill out the sheet, please do write to us, because the Gurupoornima Retreat program evolves based on the feedback we receive from the people who actually came here to participate. But the shloka presentation and the time constraint will make this program get over by about 5:15 or so. And when Puja Swamiji concludes his session tonight, we would have the remarks from him, his reflections, and Nutan Swamiji and Ma's also reflections on this retreat. Jai Guru. Okay, there's a little change in plan. The feedback session is going to go first. The shloka presentation is ready, but as you know, it takes a little time to get it up and going. And then as they were coming here, Nutan Swamiji was thinking about who could share. So we are going to shock poor Tony, but because he's traveled all the way across the oceans to come here, we're requesting him to be the first one to come and share his feedback about the Gurupoornima Retreat. Jai Guru.
My heartfelt pranams to Puja Swamiji, Nutan Swamiji and Maji, and to all present. The first thing I think struck me as I approached here was just the beauty of the whole ashram, the setting, the buildings, the welcome I received, and the incredible organization, which I really can't find a single thing that could have been better. The food, everything was perfect, really, and that's obviously a manifestation of very developed minds of the Mahatmas here, and all the willing workers who make things happen on their behalf as well. In my introduction at the beginning of the retreat, I mentioned that what my hope was, which was to find some focus for the rest of my sadhana, and also, yes, obviously get some clarity on some questions, and that the 3 subjects were highly suitable to that purpose, and I can say that I have not been disappointed. I think there's been enough material in these 5 days to keep me going, actually, and I probably could say if one actually deeply understood and reflected on and actualized all the things we've heard in these 5 days, it would be enough. There are certainly enough shlokas, I think. I didn't count them, but I'm sure somewhat more than 100 have been quoted, and to learn those and deeply understand them would be enough, I think. I think there's a danger to, I want to read this and that and so on, but I think, as has often been said in the satsangs, if you can just actualize 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 shlokas really properly, then you're well on the way. So yes, although I've heard the basics of many of the teachings before in my studies, I do feel being present here and the intensity of the retreat has really brought things together for me. And there have been quite a few realizations, let's say, things suddenly clicked. So I thought I'd highlight maybe one thing from each of the 3 themes. So from Ma's series, the Bhakti Lakshanas. Thank you. I think I expressed a doubt when I arrived that bhakti wasn't really my thing and devotion was a thing I was struggling with, but that was purely because my understanding was that bhakti is a sort of an emotional thing of bowing down to idols and doing pujas and things, and it's been completely transformed my understanding. So I had already understood that devotion to the path of self-realization was part of it, but I think that's so much clearer now that one can be devoted to the actual self-transformation work, devoted to the ultimate reality principle, devoted to the gurus, all of which I find eminently possible, even if I can't relate to some of the cultural things which might be natural to many of the people here. Then from Nutan Swamiji's talks, one more thing on Mars, that the jnana path and the bhakti path meet with those qualities. They're actually common to both paths. So I think those are the two sort of major light bulb moments. With Nutan Swamiji's excellent talks on Viveka Chudamani, with his usual scattering from various Upanishads. I think the key takeaway for me, and now my brain suddenly let me down, I might have to come back to that one. Yes, no, it is. I think the bit I really underlined was, I think it might have been on the fourth day, towards the end of the lecture, he said, the seeker, when the seeker becomes, identifies, that's the key word, identifies with the Brahman, the one reality, which isn't really one, it's actually transcendental. It even goes beyond the one description, because that would make it an object, the consciousness. It suddenly dawned on me that's what's meant by immortality. I'm sure you all know this, but for me it was a sort of aha moment. That's what it means when we talk about lead me to the immortality. And from Puja Swamiji, well, I just noticed he hasn't lost any of his old fire. He's still able to give very transformative talks, and certainly the next time I'm having a phase of dukkha, I shan't be worrying about it, because I know there'll be some rewarding sukha ahead, or actually the real practice is the samatva towards both. So I'd like to thank you very much for letting me be part of this. It's been a dream come true, and yes, my pranams. Thank you.
Hari Om, Jai Guru, Pranams Pujya Swamiji, Pranams Nutan Swamiji, Pranams Ma. I'm Nidhi from Bombay. And this is my first time at the retreat, and most certainly not my last. It's also a okay. I'll go closer to the mic, Ma. Is this okay? Am I audible? Okay. Also a big pranam to all my fellow co-seekers. It's been a wonderful journey with each and every one of you. This Gurupoornima Retreat is truly filled with the light of knowledge, wisdom, and love. I feel blessed, and I'm overflowing with gratitude for the opportunity to be in Guru Sanidhya. They are holding my hand, they are helping me towards my goal. So I cannot express what I am feeling right now. Pujya Swamiji, your talks on intertwining the Gita in our daily life make the process of application seem so simple. The way you said, when I said abhyasa, and you said knowing is abhyasa, just knowing who you are. And it just seemed like this is so effortless. And all of you are a living embodiment of it, just knowing and therefore being. So knowing is being, and I have seen this with all three of you, Swamiji, Ma and Nutan Swamiji. I have been enriched and I'm reveling in the divine space where knowledge is flowing like the Ganges. You also taught me, Swamiji, how to win over the twin reactions of Sukha and Dukkha, how to be in Samatva, purifying the mind. I am superior to the mind. This is going to echo in my mind. Swamiji, when you spoke about Samatva, just last night I was thinking, I said, right now the Samatva is not there because I'm feeling so joyous. The joy has hit a different extreme, and I was comparing myself to Surya, whose tail kept wagging with happiness, and I felt like I'm only missing the tail. I'm feeling so elated. So the Samatva is not present at the moment, but I understand what Samatva is, Swamiji. And as Nutan Swamiji also said, Dhira, stable-minded. But the joy at this moment is indescribable. Swamiji, your words come as an outpouring and an expression of total love and only wanting the best for all of us. So it feels, I don't know how to express what I feel, because you wanting the best for us is humbling, it is overwhelming, it is making me feel like, as you said, we have to not desire something, we have to be worthy of it, we have to deserve it. So the aspiration going back from here is to be worthy, is to be deserving of this knowledge. Nutan Swamiji, when you spoke about the core message, remembering the real I, you have armed me with such clarity, you have fortified me to face this beautiful life with wisdom. When you said Vimala Bodha, Abheda Drishti, this confirmation that I am the self and the fusion between the knower, the knowledge, and the knowing. I can go on and on, Swamiji, but there were hundreds and hundreds of messages that I picked up over these last few days. There are times when most of the times I don't remember, but now I remember that I am that I, who is forgetting, who is remembering everything, but that I is now the constant which I'm going to hold on to. Ma, you said to own people with love, and you are an embodiment of this love. Steeped in devotion, your lectures, your complete surrender to Swamiji, your words which, again, you said, in Guru Sanithya, I can overcome even the subtlest desires of my mind. I love a quality, I make it my own. These messages that you have shared will always be my anchor. I would like to thank all our support staff, all the inmates, all the chechis who have just, with a smile served us. I mean, even something like I requested Krishna Raj for a couple of books, and 2-3 times I said, please remove them and keep them, I'd like to take them back. And this afternoon, while I was in the room, a chechi came and handed them over to me. So the attention to detail, that who needs what, even without you asking for it, it is there for you. It just reflects on the way Swamiji, Ma and Nutan Swamiji have actually made this a family which reflects their values and what they stand for. I take away wisdom from here. I also take away your warm touch of love. I take away your hugs. I take away your hand on my head, which I cannot explain how it reassures me. If wisdom is my armor, your embrace is like being in a mother's womb, enveloped in a blanket of love and security. Just knowing that you are here and that I have this blessed opportunity to be in your Sanithya overwhelms me with a lot of gratitude. So, pranams and thank you from the bottom of my heart. I do feel this is home, so Jai Guru, and I'm going to be back. Jai Guru.
I think both of them expressed so beautifully the feelings in all of our hearts. And as they both said, they've come, this is their first retreat. And Nutan Swamiji was pointing out, our retreat will not be complete without Dr. Das. He's been attending many retreats since he first started coming. He's come without a gap. So we request him to come and share his feedback for us.
Pranam Swamiji, Pranam Nutran Swamiji, Pranam Ma. I have been attending this retreat consecutively for so many years. Only once I couldn't attend completely. I had to go back for some family problem. Anyway, but what I see is that year after year, this retreat is becoming better and better. And every time I think that whatever I was supposed to learn, probably I have learned. There is no point in unnecessarily coming and taking somebody else's place. But when, as I told you last time, that when the Gurupoornima time comes, somehow like a magnet I come, and my name Ma doesn't like this. Anyway, but I get attached. So, I mean, my first call will be to Namrataji, and Namrataji somehow she obliges me, she gets me an accommodation, I come here. And many of you might be quite new. Some people might have come some number of times. But the type of love what Swamiji, Nutan Swamiji, they shower. Nutan Swamiji doesn't say it openly. But you know, that like one question yesterday asked, so are you going back? You know, that is enough to that how much of he loves me. And Ma is so angrily saying that you always go back. But about 2 years before I asked Ma that I would like to come next time. She said, you have got a permanent permission to come for Gurupoornima. Really this, every year I find more and more elevated. And I am not going to comment about lecture program. That's what Swamiji, what Nutan Swamiji, what Ma said. Definitely there are a lot of things I have taken in me. And I think Swamiji came out best because of that what is it? That Prakash. Huh? Shiv Kumar. You know, but Swamiji didn't use the word about the God. He said that it is not required. Our Gita is not that you don't have to think about the God. And if you are perfect, your Paurusam is all right. That is, you can sail through well. And some of my personal problems also I have discussed with them, and they say everything gets, so somehow my problems get solved here. I feel at home at this place, which Mahaprabhu doesn't agree, doesn't matter, but I feel at home here, in their company, in these brahmacharis and chechis. You don't remember, many of you may not be knowing, couple of years before, we had to serve the food in our Anakshatra. Only thing I didn't like is that to serve rice, because I cannot to hold that hot thing. And when that new thing came last time, that chechis are serving, I was very happy. and they are so honest. I told you last time that I offered them some kaju and kism. They just refused it. 3 times I offered it, refused. It is in my heart. And I don't know how to explain. It has been a wonderful feeling. Unfortunately, tomorrow I was supposed to go around 12 o'clock, but my plane timing got preponed. That made my more angry. I have to go early in the morning. So maybe that today evening we'll be meeting for this program last, and I don't know when it is. But I would request, not me, not myself, all of you, come to this place as frequently as possible. There will be a lot of things to take home.
No, Ma doesn't feel angry with him at all. Ma feels sad that he doesn't listen.
No, but you have to tell what he doesn't listen to. So although he loves coming here and he's asking all of you to come many times, for so many years he will come only once a year, only for Gurupoornima Retreat, only at the last minute, the evening before, he'll somehow scrape in there. And however much Ma tells him that, Dr. Das, why don't you stay a day or two later? He'll promise, yes, I'll stay. But every time we find his ticket has him leaving, right the next day, early morning. Krishna told me me, Dr. Das was supposed to go at 9:30, but now he's saying he has to go at 6. I said, I'm happy it's not 4 o'clock. So many years,
Yes,
Pranati and I have seen him off at 4 o'clock in the morning.
Actually, he used to go at 4 o'clock. Maybe the plane timings have changed. That is why I am surprised to hear that he was about to go only at 9 o'clock.
9 o'clock. That was a surprise for us.
cannot see the separation from all these people. That's why I'm
Right.
You are a chalak person.
So we'll be starting the Shloka presentations now, and I'm handing over to Sneha to explain to us what's been going on.
Jai Guru, my humble pranams to Puja Swami G, Nutan Swami Ji and Ma. So for all those on live stream, we had a small activity for all the participants here at the ashram who've gathered for the retreat. And the activity was like this. So we divided all the participants into 6 groups, and each group, so the names of each group was Shama, Dama, Titiksha, Uparati, Shraddha, Samadhana, based on the Shadga Sampatti. And what each group had to do was, they were given shlokas to chant, and they had to video record their reflections in a matter of 3 minutes. So that was the activity that was given to all the participants. And it was wonderful to watch all of them taking it so seriously, just like kids who have an exam in 2 days. And the ashram is full of, you could listen to shloka chantings from everywhere. So it was a wonderful sight. And what we are going to do is we're going to show you a glimpse of all those recordings. Yeah.
Jai Guru, our group Sama has been given Shloka number 70 in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 2, Sankhya Yoga. Here it goes. Apuryamanamachala pratishtham samudramapa pravishanti yadvat tadvat kamayam pravishanti sarve sashanti mapnoti na kamakami. Apuryamanamachala pratishtham samudramapa pravishanti yadvat tadvat kamayam pravishanti sarve sashanti mapnoti na kamakami. As the ocean in which rivers enters, filling it to the brim, remains unmoved, likewise the one into whom enters all experiences, unsought and causing no agitation, attains peace, not the one who is running after objects of desires. This illustration of ocean highlights the knower's dimension. Just as the vapors and clouds, snow and rain are nothing but water itself, all activities and their outcomes are no different from the consciousness that abides within it. The entire objective interactions are no more than an expression of the invisible, vast inner self. The incoming elements as well as the outgoing expressions are but the same substance. Water in the case of sea, and sentience in the case of knower's interactional life. We are reminded of an illustration by Nutan Swami G. In shallow water, in a container, even the small waves disturb the entire mass. But in case of an ocean, even the huge surface waves are insignificant compared to the deep inner calmness. Understanding this well, knower is led to calmness and unaffectedness. He remains stable, deep, and wholesome. Knowledge about this vast inner dimensions makes the mind universal, free, and fearless. We all would like to pursue expansion of our mind from narrow container dimensions to the vast sea dimensions, nay, the sky-like dimensions. Mind should be made clear, light, and cheerful. Let's smile. Yeah. All expectations and desires are to be dropped. Instead, we should make efforts for what we rightfully deserve. This is the perfect description of the man of realization, Sthitadi. Jai Guru.
Jai Guru. Yasmano dijate lo lokano dijate chaya harsha bhayodvegai mukto yat sajame priyah yasmano dijate lo lokano dijate chaya harsha bhayodvegai mukto yas sajame priyah.
So the sloka says, he by whom the world is not agitated and who cannot be agitated by the world and who is freed from joy, irritation, envy, fear and anxiety is dear to me. So the challenge is when we are agitated or when we are overjoyed, then our discrimination gets lost. And when our discrimination is lost, we come into the danger zone in our reaction. So we intend to work on these two qualities, harsha and amarsa. So we will continue to work to respond to situations rather than reacting to any situation which comes. So we consciously become aware that it is like an acid kept in a steel vessel. Any anger within us, it will only corrode us. So with this conscious awareness, we will continue to work on these qualities and improve on these qualities. Of course, we have to work on all other qualities, but we will focus on these two while continuing to work on all the other qualities. Jai Guru. Jai Guru.
Pranam. We are the group named Thrissur of Forbearance, and here we are presenting the 255th sloka from Viveka Chudamani. Param sakala vaga gocharam gocharam vimala bodha chakshusha shuddha chidghanamani vasuyad brahma tattvamasi bhavayatmani param sakala vaga gocharam gocharam vimala bodha chakshusha shuddha chidghanamani vasuyad brahma tattvamasi bhavayatmani brahma tattvamasi bhavayatmani brahma tattvamasi bhavayatmani brahma tattvamasi bhavayatmani brahma tattvamasi bhavayatmani. So now coming to the meaning of the sloka. Meditate on that Brahman. Which Brahman? That Brahman which cannot be expressed by words or perceived by senses. That Brahman which is perceivable only by the intelligence when it is rid of all impurities. The impurities being of Raga, Dvesha, Yon, Bandhas. The untainted entity that shines through without a break or division, transcending time, is the Brahman that we all are. We reflected on this sloka and we felt that the only way to develop that pure mind and sharp intelligence, that ikshana buddhi, is to employ austerities. Titiksha or forbearance is one of the necessary austerities required in this process. Thank you.
Jadi niti kula gotra duragam Nama rupa guna dosha varjidam Desha kala vishayadivartiyad Brahma tattvamasi bhavayatmani Brahma tattvamasi bhavayatmani Jadi nidhi kula gotra duragam Nama rupa guna dosha varjidam Desha kala vishayadivartiyad Brahma tattvamasi bhavayatmani Brahma tattvamasi bhavayatmani.
So in this verse, which is the first of 10 in Viveka Chudamani, verse number 254, Shankaracharya is elaborating on one of the well-known Mahavakyas from the Chandogya Upanishad, and he elaborates here on the Tattvamasi, thou art that. It's expressed as an instruction from the Guru to the Shishya, to the disciple, to think of yourself as that, and that is beyond your family background, your qualities, your lineage, your defects, all names and forms and sense objects, and even beyond space and time. So what do we mean by this? It's basically to only by developing a non-differentiated, pure buddhi, intellect, mind, will you be able to grasp the Brahman, which itself is completely non-differentiated. And to do that, we have to reduce our ego by rising above, say, pride of our family lineage and all the many other things. Sit in the present moment, the eternal now, not in the past in memory and not in the future in imagination, and reduce our desires to want nothing, be nothing. Tattvamasi, thou art that.
Jai Guru.
Jai Guru.
Indriyani paranyahu Indriyebhya param manaha Manasastu para buddhihi Yo buddhe paratastu saha Indriyani paranyahu Indriyebhya param manaha Manasastu para buddhihi Yo buddhe paratastu saha.
Hari Om, Jai Guru. Pranams Pujya Swami G, Nutan Swami Ji, Maji, and our dear co-seekers. I am Nidhi Multani, making this presentation on behalf of Group Shraddha. The other team members are Mr. J.K. Das, Shanti Vishwanath, Om Narayan, and Manju Venkat. We were given chapter 3, verse 42 of the Bhagavad Gita. The sole aim of our spiritual pursuit is self-realization. The process of self-realization involves understanding what is self. Arjuna, who is stricken by doubt, delusion, and grief, refuses to fight the war on the battlefield. Krishna, Lord Krishna, reveals to him the reality of who he is, of who Arjuna is. That is the self. We perceive this gross world of manifold objects through our 5 senses. So senses are superior to the objects around us. These senses are controlled by our mind. Mind is subtler and therefore superior to the senses. Intelligence comes to play when we need to evaluate. It is subtler than the mind. The intelligence has the capacity to comprehend the impacts of all the experiences of the world. The impacts of all interactions are only two: happiness or unhappiness, like or dislike. So, intelligence is superior to the mind. Beyond the five senses, the mind and the intellect is the supreme, which is the source of everything that is seen and unseen. We call it I. I is the substratum which is perceiving and revealing the entire universe. It is witnessing all our interactions of the objective world. The entire objective world and its interactions get projected on this subject, this substratum called I. Therefore, overcoming desires, having transcended the senses and the mind, the intellect, we proceed to realize the self fully well. Hari Om, Jai Guru. Thank you.
Jai Guru.
तुल्यनिन्दास्तिर्मौनी सन्तुष्टो येन केनचित् अनिकेतस्थिरमतिः भक्तिमान् मे प्रियो नरः तुल्यनिन्दास्तिर्मौनी सन्तुष्टो येन केनचित् अनिकेतस्थिरमतिः भक्तिमान् मे प्रियो नरः.
This presentation is by the Samadhana group. Prasad of this verse has been given from chapter 12, verse 19. Krishna in Song Celestial has outlined Bhakta Lakshanas, and this verse is the pinnacle of devotional excellence. This shloka describes how a seeker on the spiritual path should be indifferent while receiving praise or blame. Mauni as a quality, cultivating inner silence despite any outside turbulence. Further, a seeker has to be santushta, contented with whatever he has and not hanker after things he doesn't have. This shloka exhorts the devotee to be non-possessive about his place of dwelling or his belongings. Sthiramati is stable-mindedness in all circumstances. Such a devotee is very dear to Krishna, and a devotee needs to imbibe these qualities in himself as a mark of true devotion. Two qualities which we are going to focus on are Mauni and Santushta. Mauni, generally understood as outer silence, today we understand it as inner silence, which is more important and has to be cultivated. It includes all interactions which we have with persons, places, events related to past, present, and future. We all suffer from a chattering mind, clinging to raga, dvesha, bhaya. Ma's exposition made it very clear that inner silence can be cultivated by a non-desireful and non-possessive mind. Remembering the real I, which is all full, purna, and takes away any sense of lacking and results in all-full silence, mana. Santushta includes contentment with an inner abundance. It is an emotion generated by the mind, helps to give inner stability, peace, and well-being. Through introspection, we delve into our mind and locate the desires and identify even subtle desires lurking within, causing discontent. Remembering the stable presence that I am, shift focus, we anchor ourselves to the supreme higher presence. Depending on Guru, for there is nothing like jnana to purify ourselves. Swami G's words ringing in our ears, contentment is the greatest wealth. Embrace poverty to enrich mind and heart like he did. And the assurance which Swami G gives is that even one quality well pursued and imbibed, other qualities would automatically, naturally follow. Jai Guru, Jai Guru, Jai Guru.
focus.
This is very good. I think you have all done very well. Now I understand that all of you are capable of chanting Sanskrit slokas. It is a masterly development. Don't miss it. See, there are some instances where I hear the entire Bhagavad Gita has been chanted by a big group in the world. Now, I have been speaking about Gita for nearly 67 years now. Now, my listeners also are in hundreds. Very rarely it is also in thousands. So, why is it that we are not able to have a group and chant Bhagavad Gita in full? At least start chanting in chapters and later on grow. In about a year or two, you should be able to chant the whole of Bhagavad Gita. The minimum number should be 1000. Actually, you have wasted your life. Because all these days, if you had just tried, you could have memorized. I am chanting Vishnu Sahasranama. I used to chant when I was young. But it appears that the whole memory has gone away from the brain. It occurred to me for one special reason. Chanting of Vishnu Sahasranama is a medicine for the health and welfare of the body. In Charaka Samhita, it is mentioned very clearly that Vishnu Sahasranama recitation is a medicine for ensuring the health and well-being of the body. You know that we are conducting Vishnu Sahasranama Yajnas. They started at least 20 or 25 years back. I have conducted by dividing our New Delhi capital into a few zones, and in all the zones I have conducted one Vishnu Sahasranama Yajna, particularly using Havan and all that. So I started chanting. Even now I am not able to memorize it fully. Some little incompleteness comes here and there, maybe 5 or 6 places. I am wondering as to what should I do. So the old recitational memory is completely wiped off. I have to reinstall it. So that process is going on. I think more than a year has passed. I am not learning. I am only chanting it once. Very fast I read in the morning. So this Vishnu Sahasranama, when properly recited, it is a prevention against dementia and other forms of brain disease. Very good. You can resort to Vishnu Sahasranama and then do it in an austere manner. It will be a treatment for any kind of a disease that you have. Something that you should remember. Now, so far as Bhagavad Gita is concerned, it conveys knowledge. Vishnu Sahasranama is a composition where there is no sentence, there is no verbal form, only names, names, names and names. But the power it generates, it is marvelous. I have written about it in a presentation we proposed to give to the tribunal in Bangalore against the judgment the Commissioner of Income Tax has come up with against us, cancelling our ATG registration. Maybe it will be presented to the tribunal. There is an organization somewhere in a European country where they were experimenting the effects of recitation. Recitation as a cultural practice. I have referred to their finding also. Treat it as a recitation, Vishnu Sahasranama. No verbal form is there, no sentence is there, no message is there. It's all qualities, 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 qualities. The first nama of Vishnu Sahasranama is Vishwasmai Namaha. So, Mahavishnu, Supreme God, is considered to be the universe. Universe is a synonym of God. Just see. And the last one is Sarva Praharana Yudha. It is a weapon for offense as well as defense against all forms of attack. Sarva Praharana. If you want to launch an offensive weapon, that is Mahavishnu. If you want to raise a defense, that is also Sarva Praharana Ayudha. Ayudha means weapon. So it starts with universe as a description of God, and it ends with a self-protective measure. All the other words are coming in between, and every word has its own significance. Wonderful names. Now, if our sound system, vocal system produces these namas, it is not just producing. While producing, you hear them. So hearing is an input. The sound strikes your eardrum. Then it goes up to the brain. And there the whole process is worked. It is bringing about a kind of a stirring up. Suppose you take a spoon and start stirring the fluid in a bottle, in a glass, something similar to that. And the effect is marvelous, marvelous. Let there be no Mahavishnu, it does not matter. All the names of gods are made by us, evolved by us. And they have their meanings given by us. So the whole process is a mento-intellectual practice, mento-intellectual austerity, meant to produce effects on our own biological body, biological aggregate, and psycho-intellectual inner personality. I don't find anything related to God there at all. If at all it is related to the universe and our own existence, that is God. So I think all of you should reevaluate your position, and as a mark of gratitude for the exposure that you are receiving here, try to learn Bhagavad Gita, one verse after the other. At least one chapter you read and 2 or 3 verses you recite and learn them. Okay. Mm-hmm.
Nandita was saying that there is a book written by Swami G, The Origin and Relevance of Vishnu Sahasranama. Many of you may not know, in 2013, there was a Vishwa Mahotsava. Pujya Swami Ji had organized. Our Bhagavata Satram that year was a Vishwa Mahotsava. And water had come from all the 7 oceans of the world. Arvindan had brought from Pacific Ocean. Then when Swamiji and all had gone to USA, they brought from that side of the Pacific. Pankaj had arranged to get from Arctic Ocean. So all the oceans... Antarctica also. Then from all the rivers in India, all the holy rivers, the earth came from all the holy spots over here. And there was a big procession with chariots which were carrying all of this. And in the Thrissur round, we all chanted Vishnu Sahasranama and circumambulated the whole round. And the water which came from Ganges, it came in big copper drums. It was put in small
water
copper
collected
pots.
from Gomukh.
From Gomukh, the source itself. One of Swamiji's devotees.
Gomukh is the point from where Ganges originates.
So everywhere around the world, everyone played a role in this. And that year, there were, I think, 5,000 children who came, and on Vishnu Sahasranama Yajna is a program which is the concluding day of the Bhagavata Satram. And from that year, I think from 4 in the morning, Vishnu Sahasranama was chanted 3 times. Swamiji's, Ashramites, devotees, everyone went off at 3 in the morning, and there so many people came. We were really surprised that so many people came to chant over there so early in the morning. It started at 4, and they completed 3 rounds of chanting before the yajna itself started.
3 or 5?
I think it was 3, or was it
10.
10 rounds?
10.
10 rounds of Vishnu Sahasranama chanting. So.
We had expected about 5 crores or so. Then it transcended that level. I don't remember how many. Huh? It was all published very well in newspapers. The event was. I wanted to have another program on Bhagavad Gita, but somehow it did not take place.
So Swamiji had written this book that year, and the soft copy free download is available on the Ashram website. Additionally to that, this chanting of Vishnu Sahasranama, as Swamiji is saying, the Ucharana is very important. So if you go to the resources and chanting section, there's Vishnu Sahasranama. So then the chanting is available when Uttam Swamiji is chanting and it's being repeated.
In the learning mode.
In the learning mode. But more important to that, there are 2 small files where he has taught. There was an Australian devotee at that time, and Swamiji had taught her the actual Ucharana. You know, there's a difference between Sa, Sha, Sha, Pa, Pa, Ba, Bha. So he has taught that. If we can all learn that basic of how to chant specific letters, then the whole thing flows really well. So all of this is there in learning how to chant.
We have also published the meaning of the words.
Yes, Swamiji had translated.
Is it not in the website?
It's there on the website. The meaning of each this thing mantra is given over there. So, Man, we were signaling something at that time. Okay. So we want Namita is going to come and give her feedback. Actually, her name had featured, but because of our Sloka chanting, we wanted to make sure we weren't running late. So anyway, it's good. Come. No, we're okay. Please come.
Jai Guru. Yeah. Shall I? Jai Guru. My humble pranams to Pujya Swamiji, Nutan Swamiji, my beloved Ma, and my Didi back home, whom I fondly call Nileshwara. My pranams to all brahmacharis and all the invisible hands that make this place Vaikuntha for us. My humble pranams to my fellow seekers, in whose presence my heart is bursting with oneness and inner fullness and joy never known before. For me, the orientation message was received in Pujya Swamiji's Gurupoornima message, when he said, "The secret is the hurdle is in my mind." And he said, "Give me the position to broom your mind and heart, for there is no other way." Wow, what a wonderful title to begin with. Intertwining Bhagavad Gita into everyday life. Song of the soul, Bhagavad Gita, raining blessedness and grace. such an essential message for living life. Not a religious text, such an essential message, a relevant one. Why am I grieving in this world? Grief and joy follow one another, a cyclic process. One alone can never be. Both subsiding in same place, so are they not same in sphere of understanding? Power of words, power of truth, power of knowledge, truth which addressed all my doubts, ignorance, and grief. A sovereign message for life, resolution to fight the constriction of the mind, language of heroism, confidence, a richness which made me feel more and more opulent. Simultaneously, Swami G, you made me feel like such a donkey, carrying gold with such a resourceful source within, especially since I have been blessed by a guru who has such a relentless fondness for me. How long can I plead weakness? Again and again, you reminded me about the greatness and grandeur of my birth and the land we belong to. Every time you say, "This is India, my dear souls," you cultivate such cultural patriotism in me that I bow down in reverential gratitude to my motherland, where such blessed souls rest their holy feet. Nutan Swamiji, you are mesmerizing and melodious. Brahma Tattvam Asi. Never let us sleep in these 5 days. It was so energizing as a chant that Shanti and I never felt tired. You also cautioned us in our mind to give it sublime effect, that essential message should revolve over there. The greatest philosophical revelation, simply even chanting does that. Remembering the real I, you taught us a sporting, sportful, purifying attitude to life. I came here feeling special. I am this and I am not that. But I'm going back with only a spatial feeling with this Anand Rasa. Ma, your nectarine revelations have made my life already so sukham. Without my telling you how the omniscient Divine Mother knew, I was longing to know how to increase the intensity of my devotion. So your direction in the form of Bhakta Lakshanas and Nitya Yuktata will be my takeaway for life. Your attention to the smallest detail in this Vaikuntha, soaked in Guru Bhakti and love for whoever crosses your path, makes me tearfully joyous every step of my household roles and life. Pujya Swamiji, a couple of Saturdays ago in a live satsanga, you said you are sure you are first in the list of Krishna's list of favorites. I also feel I am first in your list. Yes, I know I have desires. I know I have impurities of raga, dvesha, and bhayas, but I also know by your benevolent gaze, if inanimate food can be purified in the ashram, pavitrikaranam, then your gaze has fallen on me, so I can comfortably rest with your merciful hand on my head and rise over the wrong compulsions of my mind. On a lighter note, the first time I came to the ashram, you told me to take the ashram back home with me. You have no idea how literally I have done that. The Eladi cough tablets you gave my husband, the jar has become an Akshay Patra. Ever full, whoever has a sore throat gets a pouch of Eladi, prasad, invoking your blessings. So in all ways, you have given us formulas for every life situation. Now, I have to simply cherish them, nurture them by sadhana and grace of Trinity in my life. Jai Guru, Jai Guru, Jai Guru.
Anybody else?
I think we have to now conclude because of the night session. Is that okay?
No, I just felt that one or two of the brahmacharinis can tell their feelings about the retreat.
Nandita, would you like to come? No, come.
नमामि गंगाधरहं सवर्यं दयासमुद्रं नतलोकबन्धुं सम्भ्रान्तचित्ताय समाश्रिताय समादिशद्य परमात्मतत्त्वं पूर्णाश्रमं यस्य तपोनिधानम् जिज्ञासुवृन्दस्य परं शरण्यं क्षेमाय सर्वस्य च मोक्षसिद्ध्यै नताभयं नित्यमनन्यभक्त्या नताभयं नित्यमनन्यभक्त्या. Jai Guru. These are the two shlokas that our Pujya Swami Ji has composed about Baba. And from the time we went to Dakshin Khanda, and I don't know, when I first learned them in the first Dakshin Khanda trip, from that time itself I am so much touched by them. And also every day when I leave for the room, I prostrate to Baba's shrine and tell him something. Oh, today I made this mistake. Today you should make sure that tomorrow I don't make this mistake, like that. All those things I talk to Baba before going. And I can only start the talk by very humble prostrations to Pujya Swami Ji, Notun Swami Ji and Ma. Words cannot describe how blessed we are to be able to listen to their words of wisdom, each complementing the other. Start. Notun Swami Ji says, Brahma Tattvamasi Bhavayatmani. Pujya Swami Ji, the way he is explaining Bhagavad Gita, if Lord Krishna himself was here, he would have said that, yes, nobody can explain Bhagavad Gita like you. And Ma telling all those lakshanas of bhakta lakshanas, of which she herself is an embodiment, the owningness in this ashram. I am talking to you as if I am a participant probably. Though I am not a participant, I am already living in this ashram, but every day I have been feeling that how blessed we are that we have such great masters to teach us these subtle qualities and subtle truths to imbibe. Because for years, for almost 10 years in the academy that I was before, I had learnt all the Bhagavad Gita shlokas. I knew the word meaning. I knew what is the Vitpatti means, what is the etymology, everything I knew. But I never knew Bhagavad Gita. And even now, of course, I have to know much more. There is no end to it. But everything makes me feel blessed here. I feel that every work that we do, there should be a blessedness, and the sense of difference seems to have gone. Though sometimes the mind brings up various likes and dislikes, but generally, whichever work comes to be done, I try to do it to the best of my ability. And I feel that I should look into the various aspects of the ashram and not just do the work that I am assigned. This is one thing as far as sadhana here is concerned. But this, as far as the retreat is concerned, and this place, right from the workers to the people around, like just now one of the workers told me that, oh, somebody's hand, I dropped the coffee. I said, whose hand did you drop? What happened? Tell me. I was not present. So it was Kaushik Ji, I said. So I said, what? I gave Bernal to them. I said, at least they are so concerned and so thoughtful. How are you, Kaushik Ji? So it's a very great opportunity to learn here, and we can only continue it, and there is no end to it. So all of us, according to me, including me, should take a resolution that how much we are going to do when. Only then it will work. Not only that, we can take a decision that here, every 2 months I will come to the ashram or wherever. Suppose you are in Delhi and you want to do seva there. Means some such decisions, they are taken only then these retreats and things will be meaningful. Otherwise, we have come for a retreat. We will go, we enjoyed, we chanted shlokas, we explained them also. But again, we will get into the flow of our normal life and there will be no concrete result. I for one, whether it is result orientation, according to me, I always look for targets. Like we should do this much, we should do this much. Maybe from the academy I have learned like that. That this much should be done, this much should be written. Like Ma's, in the company of my Lord, she has explained her sadhana so well and so openly. When I first read it, I felt that can any sannyasini tell so openly that she had this desire, she had that desire, and how she has overcome. So I have made the points which are still with me in what all she has said. So they are so inspiring. If you read only 1 or 2 of the points, which are many of them are marked in bold letters in the book. And one more thing I would like to say is that in Ma's last previous birthday talk, in the end she said that I have done this, she told her sadhana, many things. In the end she said, yes, but still if I have some defects and if you all tell me, I will be happy. I was almost shocked. How can Ma ask such a question to the open audience that if there are any defects, then you can ask me. So what does it mean? That willingness to grow. Always wanting to improve. This is what we learn from here. Of course, attention to detail and other things. And one example occurred the other day because some people were sitting in the Samadhi Mandir after the evening prayer. So I said that it's better you all do the meditation before. After the evening prayer, all should attend the Pavitrikaranam. So the next day, most of them came. I think Rajanji brought all of them down and said we should attend the Pavitrikaranam. And all chanted, Yasya, what is the known as? Yasya Pada Prabhadhyasta. It was such a wonderful effect. So then I told, see here, we learn to do the good things. I shared after the Pavitrikaranam that here we learn to do the good things also at the right time. Otherwise it may seem we are only doing something good, meditation. Why are we told not to do then? Because that is the time for Pavitrikaranam. Meditation, I said we can do before the prayer or at 3 o'clock, like that I had suggested. So everybody also liked, I think, that sharing, and I myself felt very inspired when all chanted. It was such a good effect in the satsang hall. So can only say that we are very, very blessed, and every moment, as Ma says, the blessedness and gratitude, and we are very happy all of you came here, needless to say. And we are one big family, but we have to continue the journey together ceaselessly with humble prostrations to our gurus all the time. Jai Guru.
Pranam Swamiji, Pranam Nutan Swamiji, and Pranam Ma.
1 minute. I don't know whether all of you know, many of you must be knowing. She's from Malaysia, she's a Malaysian, and she's a quite qualified doctor, pediatric nephrologist, and she was in her work, and slowly she developed Vairagya, I would say, and came and joined us in 2021. So she's three years here, and she says that she doesn't want to be the doctor.
I also didn't want to speak. I was quite happy it's 5:25 at the end of the retreat. I thought we could get away without having to speak, but okay. Jai Guru. My thoughts about this retreat, I think but first thing what I feel I want to say first is this group that has come for this retreat. I think there's some kind of special energy in this group that's here collectively. And Ma was saying some time back that he was just telling Swamiji, that you should speak to them about sadhana because they're all old devotees. They're not newcomers, they're not new people, except for a few. But even people like Tony who are coming here for the first time have been listening for a long time. So I don't think there's anyone in this group that's actually brand new in that sense. So maybe that's why this group feels so powerful. That energy is very strong, I feel. And where I felt it the most is in Nutan Swamiji's class, particularly. Morning you come in and everybody's chanting on their own without anybody telling them to. And what I felt was, because Nutan Swamiji just came back from US from a long program, he's not really recovered. And we see it during the day. We know how tired he is. We know his body has not recovered. But during the class, you don't see any of that. It's all just gone, and it's like a different person. But we know that's coming from the audience. That fuel for the vibrance in the class comes from this group. And it's there in all the classes also. And Ma's going non-stop every day. But we're seeing every time, we're getting so much from them, and so we're grateful to you because it's because this group is like this that we are getting, the kind of discourses we're getting from Puja Swamiji and Nutan Swamiji and Ma. And so for that, I'm very grateful and just wanted to thank all of you. As Ma said, it's been 3 years now in this ashram. Every year, I try and avoid speaking. And every year we get pulled out. And generally every year I'm asked what has changed or how have you grown. And some days I think I've not grown. I feel like it's just starting. After 3 years, I think if I were to say, it's like the life in ashram is just going deeper and deeper within. And you might have heard the word adventure being used quite often during this retreat, and I think that's what it is. It's like an adventure inside where you keep discovering things about yourself, which is nice because you have this picture of yourself. You come with a picture of yourself, and every day that picture gets just hacked away, and you find you're not anything like what you thought you were. But that happens because you feel you're in a safe space for that to happen because it's taking place surrounded by so much love. And when Swamiji and Nutan Swamiji and Ma, they speak about the soul and the properties of the soul, and one word that comes out all the time is love, and how that is the nature of our real self. And you feel it just looking at them. So where else would you get that, right, other than here? So life in the ashram, if there's one word, I think it's gratitude. Gratitude for being here, even if you're not living here, but just to be here, even for a day. Anybody who can come here and be in their presence for just one day, I think that is cause for a tremendous amount of gratitude. For me personally, living here, I think most days I think I just wonder what I've done to deserve this. So, yes, I think that's all I have to say. Thank you.
Jai Guru. It's 5:30, so we're concluding this session, and we'll all be back here at 8 o'clock for Puja Swamiji's concluding of the session and concluding of the retreat this year. And as one is saying that, I feel a little in the heart that, oh, gone so fast. Anyway, so we'll be back with those of you who are joining us on live stream. Those who are present here will now go up for the evening prayer. Jai Guru.